Hello, my lovelies. How is everybody doing? Looks like I'm going live. I am going to play a little and I'm going to shuffle this card deck and I'm going to get you to pick another one, and I will pull a card for the collective and then bring through the message and transmission. Kind of like what I did the last day, which is fun and playful and whatever we need as well. So I'm going to pull through a card and I'm going to invite anybody who's watching as well to tell me the second deck. You're going to type it in. Hi Pooja, how are you? I hope you're all well. Hi Lucy. I am doing a collective messaging for all of us. So the play is I just pull a card from a deck and do a transmission for the collective, and I'm going to get you to pick as a group which one to use next. So the Masters one, the Divine Feminine one, or Work Your Light. So the collective message, which will be exactly what you need, essentially will be from one of those three decks. Oh, the dragons as well, I should say. Yeah, there's the dragon deck too. So there's four there. The dragon, the Ascendant Masters, which is this one, or the dragon one, or the Divine Feminine, or we're looking at Work Your Light Oracle by Rebecca Campbell. And I'm definitely pulling this one by Jamye Price, her light language deck. That's the first one I'm going to do now. Ooh. So what needs and wants to happen today, tonight, tomorrow? Today I've been recording videos for like a few weeks ahead in my light language group course that's happening. One is underway this week, one is underway in June. Level 1 beginners, if anybody wants to join. If you are new to light language or you want to expand your own writing, singing, drawing, speaking, really just play. Play and also work through some shadow stuff that you're around being seen, being heard in your gifts. So what is light language? It's a form of vibrational healing. It's a vibrational healing form, like soul language, angelic language. It comes through signs, symbols, tones, clicks. It's expansive, it's healing, it's alchemizing, it's activating, opens us up to stuff like gifts, abilities, knowing, connection with self, earth, source, creator. So that's what light language is, just in a few sentences. It's multidimensional, non-linear. So it's a bit of, it's a, try to explain it in one sentence. Okay, I'm going to pull from this deck. There's two. Ooh, thank you. Right, what are they? Wow! Both these cards are about expansion. Both of them are about activating the truth and expansion within us, and they're both very connected. I picked them from totally different parts of the deck. Universal connection and divine union. It feels like divine union with self-source and then one. I am, the law of one, we are, unity. That is the two cards coming in. So, woo, hello Anna. Oh, thank you. The headband, you like it? It's a t-shirt. I just had wet hair. But thank you, I love green. Divine union and universal connection. I'm going to invite in. That is from the Pleiades and their expansion cards. So it's like a perfect segue, really. Today I wrote out a transcript that we'll be doing this Wednesday that was channeled through, and it was coming through and inspired as well. I was inspired by others and it was channeled through like part and part. And it was very much aligning with the Christic consciousness. and the law of one. And also that when we focus our intention and our energy and our, because it's a light language group, and the light language, the healing of the light language, we create miracles, we create healing, we can create healing within self, within our space, our sacred circle, but then within the world as well. So spoiler alert for those of you joining Wednesday. So a lot of that messaging, it was around divine union and around universal connection. So I feel like I'm just getting a confirmation myself. Oh, I love it. So who wants to come through? Thank you. So I am going to a page I wrote notes down on earlier today because I'm going to read out some of it. And this is Aramaic, because the words are like mantras, and they hold the sound and vibration of source, essentially. My pronunciation may be a bit off. Okay. The reason I'm going to read this out is essentially this is to heal self, but it's to commanding the divinity. We are now commanding the divinity of the masculine and feminine to come within us when we say these words. These words are prayer. They're actually part of the Lord's Prayer in Aramaic. Abun Debashmaya is the first one. And if you're watching now, say it out loud as well. Abun Debashmaya. Abun Debashmaya. Nekadash smach. Tete mal kutach. So Abun Debashmaya. Nekadash smach. Tete mal kutach. And I won't go any further than that. But what those words mean, and this is what these cards I think are wanting me to say and share. And I was sharing this Wednesday, but it's coming out now. O thou from whom the breath of life comes, who fills all realms of sound, light, and vibration. This is the Divine Mother, right? We're calling the Holy Divine Father. May your light be experienced in my utmost holiest. So I am the true reflection of myself, experiencing. Your heavenly domain approaches. So that's the start of this prayer. Abun debash maya nekatash smach tete malkutach. I'm not going to go any further, but we lose in English so much of that essence, because in Aramaic, and this is the ancient Aramaic that Yeshua would have spoken, or Jesus or the Christ, every tone and syllable is just like light language, contains multi-layers of meaning. So invite that in. Abun, 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 because it will start to kind of work through you, the vibration of that. Debash Maya, oh divine ones, come within me. Divine Mother, it's calling on the divine feminine, right? Divine feminine creatrix, come within. And it's the union of the Divine Mother and Father. Reveal yourself to us. That's what we're asking. So, O thou for whom the breath of life comes, who fills all realms of sound, light, and vibration, may your light be experienced in my utmost holiest, and your heavenly domain approaches. So I'm going to leave that and then go into the transmission. I'm hoping if those words are meant for somebody, it's going to resonate. I felt a remembrance when I heard the Aramaic. Like I was just, whoa, I'm remembering this, even though I don't speak Aramaic. Abba sani eti eke ahwa ala sa iti. Dro untakamana airti shura hamdana ikelia. Surya. So holding the intention for the divine union, the I am presence of each of you watching. The connection, like remember who you be, remember who you are. And universal connection. Shua kiniya katayiti wa achakayiti. Become whole with yourself so your interactions and creations are nurtured in your divine love. Choose a balance of future creation and the present moment in divine union. See your sexuality as sacred and interact when you feel supported with honesty, enjoyment, and connection. The card asks you to go within and enhance your unity with all life. Do not resist or fear with what seems opposite. Now, we're getting this, we're invited into the unity of all life, but if we look outside our doors right now, the unity of all life doesn't look very appeasing. And there's a lot of judgment and projection, a lot of fears, a lot of this is right, that's wrong, my way or you're the highway because I'm no longer connecting with you and you need to be cut from my life. So there's a lot of this duality, and really what it's inviting in is divine union. And where we find ourselves, no matter what side of the fence we're on, and I say this in most things right now because that trigger point is everywhere, judging, whether it's something we're reading, whether it's somebody that we're seeing acting a certain way or being a certain way, or if it's family members, and where there are expectations and even conditions around how you will be received and accepted, or how you feel you can feel safe receiving or accepting others, right? So noticing where, there's okay for healthy boundaries, but where there's judgment or projection involved through fear. What faith or trust can you call in to know the divine union of you is completely safe, held, protected, and that you can tap in and check in, is this true? What else wants to happen? What compassion can I bring forth so that there's no projection or judgment on my half, or if I'm feeling it from them, I'm clearing it from my psyche and my energy field. I really feel right now when anybody is off with me or thinking, or I annoy someone or trigger someone, I get prickles so loud in my energy, I'm literally able to put it over. I'm going, wow, that's an attack. It's like jaggedness. Like you put your hands, you should be smooth all over. And when I sense that projection, it's almost like gravel. I'm running my hands through gravel and the residue needs to come off. That's how I feel it when I was feeling. And I even said it, I was like, and then somebody told me I had that thought about you, sorry. So decharge, release, revoke, rescind, delete, and keep releasing what's not yours, because some of it is yours, some of it isn't. All life has equal measure of duality. This is about becoming whole within yourself and interacting with life from the divine wisdom of unity. This is a view of life that alleviates separation, fosters forgiveness and support and compassion within a global community. You don't have to become one of them or one of the other, but you still recognize we are one. You don't have to, in other words, give up your truth or your beliefs to be in union. It's a feeling. It's an embracement of all is one, no matter how they show up. And what I'm kind of being brought to, forgive them for they know not what they do, and still love them. Tuima akwa shiwa kayeti nima asawa iti raaka iria tronoma boom. Dima suru koleaka de bashmaya abun de bashmaya ne kadash smach tete mal kutach. Iakania ko kia kwara sokundar mana ilakara sanima ati. Rando soyetria roko dahinye orasa etorandia treo. Buye ehiwa akai kinia rohomna elekra sutro komani. Into the heart. Breathe. And allow yourself to just feel the heart. Feel the hand on the heart. Feel the support around you. And feel the transmission that will come through now, through the Christedness of you. Sunyaye waye uye Ranya kuraka sanzia Romo sevosu Aburanze Nimawa suruku Vyakala sumbraye makai kriya surukundanmanala ifrkas suromlaye novom dena suranye wanye ewa ewa aye uya ye wai aye wai mushu areka Rendiena yargali rokoni la karakali kaneyako sumbra eke. And just keep breathing. So what's this evoking in me as a pain in my heart? So I'm just going to tap. So there's a heart opening there of grief, something I'm holding on to, sadness. And if you need to do that, breathe in and just go, okay, I recognize the emotion. I didn't know I suppressed it. And you can let it go. Universal connections next. What's this one about? I am a valuable aspect of the whole of life. The path to ascension is merely an exciting point of evolution. Humanity is beginning to interact with the subtle realm more consciously. This is about the awakening that's happening, but we're like, this ain't happening fast enough, folks. Or maybe you're like a third awake or half awake, whatever that is, 1 foot out, 1 foot in. And whatever we have ascribed meanings to what awakening is, and that's a judgment too. Like, so where we have a judgment and projection even on that, what does it mean about me? What does it mean about others? What do I make it mean? Releasing, revoking, rescinding, deleting, and bringing it into neutrality. It is. So the vast engine of life that builds form, it's a natural progression into universal laws of creation. We move past focus on the self and the physical only into all. The rules of the physical realm are manipulating your environment to create. The rules of the subtle realm are about that compels form. It's a different way of creating. It's no longer, I'm creating this on my own over here in my corner. It is together in the realms, creating form, manifesting instantly. The Pleiadians open to universal connection by consciously choosing healing and empowerment within, clarifying your interaction with the vast, invisible system of light that builds worlds. Your subtle bridge speaks to the subtle realms clearly with your vibration. Your subtle bridge is all of your senses, by the way. Your gut, your knowing, your feeling, the tingles, the constrictions, contractions, expansions, hot, colds, hearing something, smelling something, tasting. That's the subtle realms that connects you. That's your bridge. It's your body and your senses as well as the psychic senses. It's the bridge. You're creating with resonance rather than control. You're becoming the change you want to experience. Becoming the change you want to experience is an ancient Egyptian technology. You visualize it, you breathe it, you become the form, and that creates the change. You're already in the being, and then the physical shifts to resonate with the being of you. That's what ascension or ascension is for me. It's me noticing, am I in my being or am I pulled this way, thinking that way, having that feeling this XYZ, whatever it is, like what's the being in the moment. And I am checking myself a lot around this recently. Like, it's a constant prayer. The card asks you to look beyond the obvious. I'm going to just put up the light language. And embrace your cosmic interconnectedness. The entire universe is connected to you and responding. Are you paying attention? You are powerful and life is benevolent. Benevolent. I can't speak the word. Benevolent. You're in human form. The light language is facilitating your understanding of deeper truths of life that point to your timeless nature, releasing the cycles of fear so that you're free to express and expand. The I am and the union. We're in the cycle of the greatest fear the earth has had since World War II, practically. Right? Not this one, this one. We're in a contraction point. Now, the earth works in contractions. The realms work in contractions. We work in cycles. Kali Yuga, right? All of this is a cycle coming to the end of the cycle. And it has been foretold for eons that this Kali cycle, that there will be a contraction into the greatest expansion ever experienced. So these are the dark ages into the light ages. These are natural. We experience it week to week, to be honest, as humans. We have weeks where we've loads of energy and expansion, and then we've other weeks where we're like, gee, Max, give me the bed. I don't feel so great, or I'm feeling this, I'm feeling that. I have sorrow, I have grief, I have anger. That's a contraction phase. Nobody likes them. But you can map out when you're going to get it. If you've had an expansion, expect a contraction. It may be less and less as you move through your own process, as in at the start it can be more dramatic, and then the roller coaster becomes just a wave and you ride the wave. But there's still the peak and there's still the trough, because you want to keep expanding as a soul. So you'll have those experiences of greater bringing forth and gathering all of you even more home. So that's what this is about. These are, I am your being, and come home all of you into the one. That's the messaging we're getting. Whew. How does that feel and sound? Let me see what you picked for the next one. Anna is saying the divine feminine. Lucy is saying the divine feminine. Pooja said work your light. So we have 2 divine feminine, 1 work your light. Let me say, for those that are just coming on, my next reading is collective as well. It will be either, and you're going to pick the decks, so either pick Divine Feminine, Work Your Light, Dragons, or Ascendant Masters. So far we have it between one, and we've 2 votes. The next vote, essentially, if it's Divine Feminine, will win it, the next 2 votes. So let's see what happens. Okay, hi Melanie, hi Celine. Yes, I'm doing collectives tonight. I'm not doing, I end up coming on here for like 2 hours when I do individual ones. So I'm just doing 1 more card. So who would like, what is the second? Be my loves. Okay, Melanie, you win it. So this is it. Does anyone phonetically type out the word benevolent? Why can't I say that word properly tonight? Benevolent, like a little stutter. I used to have problems pronouncing words as a kid. Hospital was hockables. Couldn't pronounce certain words. And obviously I have that tonight. Maybe it's to make me laugh. I like this Divine Feminine deck. Megan Watterson. Ooh, first card for sure. I invite us now just to receive this, to open and soften. Breathe and like, I'm yawning. I have some tension here, more that side. Notice where you're holding tension in your face. And if anybody is a little activated right now, when I say activated, you're kind of hypervigilant, you're kind of a little high, or if you're a little actually shut down and numbed out, you know, if you're a bit like that, take a breath in, hum, let yourself hum and tone. Use your voice to heal vibrations. There's so many science research into this now, how healing it is. going to pick, and you know what the one is? This is the card. It's Mirabai, the saint of true freedom. Love is what sets me free. I am married to my own soul. Love is what sets me free. I am married to my own soul. So she's a beautiful looking card, isn't it? Really gorgeous, full of golds and reds, very divine Christ. I'm going to look up in the book. I already know the story of this though. So she embodies love that's right for our own lives, no matter what other people think. This is again bringing in judgment, right? Or projection of others, how we feel we might have to put a mask on for certain people, or how we show up. Essentially, she's like, hell no, I'm authentic. I will be the love that I am in my life, no matter how that affects people or how my love looks to you. I mean, love could look like service acts being in the jungle. Love could look like you're working with children. Love could look like that you're a chef, a cook, and you're just loving it. It's love looks different in different ways, but it's love. She was a poet, a mystic from India, and she was born a princess. Married very young, not wanting to marry. Father made her marry, and she didn't really want to. She felt she was married to Krishna, and this is why I say there's a lot of Christ energy here. I mean, Krishna is Christ energy as well. They say her husband's family tried to kill her for the, dishonoring and defying social customs. She did not follow the status quo. She did not follow the rules and regulations of the government at the time, of the culture at the time, of the king at the time, her father, and they wanted to kill her for it. Okay, so look at what's happening in the world right now. We may feel like, I don't want to follow those rules. They're not my rules. They're not aligned with my truth. They're not aligned with my freedom. And she was a civil disobedience. She was into civil disobedience in her era. Okay, she was the female equivalent of Gandhi. So following the soul's freedom, what does that look like without causing injury to anybody else, obviously, but what does that look like for you right now? She essentially didn't follow the expectations set upon her by her family as well. It was a revocation of expectations. When expectations aren't met, there's usually judgment the other end of it. Either self-judgment, or we're judged by others around us. Oh, she didn't put the kids to bed early. She's a bad mother. Or look what she didn't do for the XYZ husband or the boss. She didn't work XYZ for the boss. And there's an expectation, it's not met. And then there's judgment and you're boxed somewhere. So anywhere that's happening in your life right now, in any relationship, mother, father, sister, brother, friendships, or society. Hello, society. Like this rubbish around vax, anti-vax, mask, anti-mask, like it's a load of rubbish and projections on all sides. So where is the truth in this? Right? And the truth is, breathe in for you, because it's going to look different for everybody. The rubbish, I mean, is separation. When I say rubbish, what I mean is the separation and division energy there, and the anger and the spewing. Ukanaka iki wa akanaka aki kawa anaki iki wa akana iti pa aka iki umba iki ik arakam iki lia kaka wa ishi. Umdana hera harakunda hepchi or hat araknum etro utnam kira suru turu tamdra umbra as turuku. Isamdra wa heshiwa alakara sura. Antare sandro okira suru galakram no usui. So we two beings in there. One was an earth of the earth plane. The other is a galactic from Antares, and both around freedom. Now my throat is going to start clearing. If you're feeling anything in your throat, just and anywhere there's freedom of expression and a feeling I cannot express, release, revoke, rescind, delete, let it go. Express it out, let yourself feel it. I'm yawning, letting it go. So I'm being shown Antares as being like a highway system of all beings from all galaxies, kind of like a stopping off point before they move off into their missions, and how they all get together and along and receive and accept no matter what stage of their evolution that they're on. So she's inviting in that through her transmission. And the ears, anger around the ears, frustration, what's that? Pressure in the ears. Who's having pressure in the ears? Anything that you don't want to hear or anything that's been said that is not nice to hear, release, revoke, rescind, delete that. I'm being shown flashbacks of certain people watching where you were told certain things as a kid. I'm looking between the ages of 12 and 15 by a parent or teacher, or another somebody along that line, and it putting you down essentially. Which is judgment. Not recognizing you, not hearing you, not understanding you. They do not understand you, so you feel misunderstood. I'm not listened to, I'm not heard, and I'm not understood. Release that. Sumbala hara atra. So you adapted, but this is not your true you. There's probably more than one of you, by the way. Because I resonate with that too. So Mirabai's love for Christ, for Krishna, she believed that would save her. And she wears the tika on the forehead up there as a sign of her devotion to the Christ of consciousness, to Krishna. And eventually, anyway, her whole family ended up dying, all the men, because there was a war between them. The men went off to war and they died, the father and all that. And the husband, and they wanted to burn her on the pyre. I have a past life memory of that, it's not nice. Who's burned in a pyre here with their husbands in India or any other country? So that's what happened at that time, because you were part of the possession of the gentleman and you were sent off to go to the afterlife with him. So she refused and she defied again the social and custom norms. And she went off, obviously, had a little escape there, and went off and became a huge poet saint in a really difficult part of Indian history. It wasn't a peaceful time. But in her poetry, she was bringing through the spiritual path of peace and love all the time and the divine devotion that she felt with Christ, with Krishna. She became a symbol for those suffering as well, just through her love and her peace. So her songs are still used to this day, like hundreds of years later. So it says here, when you pull this card, this is for all of us. When we pull this card, we make choices based on external expectations and how we think other people will perceive our actions. She is about what's doing right for you and no one else. Obviously, check in, it doesn't cause damage or harm physically or something to somebody else. Within reason, okay? You're not responsible for other people's feelings in that way either, though. If that's like they're wounding, that's not, doing it in a good way. Ultimately, only you can know what needs to be done or said. You have only one brief life, and every second of it matters in this incarnation. So she is about standing up for what you know is right for you, even if others judge you for it. The fear of being persecuted can convince us not to be true to who we really are. Hands up right now in the comments. Who is afraid to be fully and voice all their beliefs and all their concerns and all their love and everything right now? If they were to show up fully, would you feel persecuted? I can just say yes straight away to that. Not with certain people, I'm totally me, but there are certain people I definitely know I either pull back my energy a little, as in I don't be fully me, because if they saw full me, I'd feel they'd have an aneurysm, they won't be able to handle it. They'd freak out. And that's like a judgment, right? I have a judgment around that. Or I know that I would be rejected because they would not receive that so well. It would be too jarring where they're at mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. That resonance would be too jarring for them. They would not understand. And this is that thing, I'm not understood right now. I'm not heard right now. So notice if that belief system's coming up, because that's the little girl or little boy in you that needs to be talked to. I'm sorry, me, you don't feel heard. I'm sorry, because that's going back to a wounding as well. Because what the idea is, you're moving into peace, neutrality. You're not swayed by that. You're just being. Kiana Osoroko. I'm saying this because I literally went through that 3 days ago. Okay, so I'm just repeating stuff I'm moving through. It may resonate with you, it may not. Kia kana altro o sa haki kalake suru ku mana taivera asaki noto ku yeki kala sarakaniati atro hamdana uto ye. Breathe. Who's not breathing? Somebody is so tight in your diaphragm. It's like somebody punched you there. You have so much tension, my love. If you have so much tension, your breath's only going to here. To open it up a little bit, do a short one to here, and then do a bigger one on the set, like down. Okay, so it helps the diaphragm move when you're so closed there, tension. Right, so right, so don't do too many, you might get lightheaded, but it kind of opens the diaphragm. So try that. It's like you're almost gasping, right? Like you come out of the water and you're just like soften and open. The fear of being persecuted convinces us not to be who we be. Yeah. This is around human constructs, society norms, status quo. Just because it's a law doesn't mean it's ethical or divinely right under the law of one. Under the law of one. So love isn't bound by any idea of what's socially acceptable. Love is what sets us free from the expectations that bind us. Love, in whatever way it finds us, asks us to stay loyal to our own soul and our own soul path. Right. So look at what really matters to us and what we value. Love asks us to bravely defy expectations in order to be true to ourselves. What civil disobedience is it asking you to be? Love wants us to marry our own soul. What holds me back from expressing my truth? Love is what sets me free. I am married to my own soul. I'm jokingly when I say civil disobedience, because that's really cultural disobedience, familial expectation disobedience. Notice disobedience and obedience. I'm saying that specifically because there's connection into the divine will center, the solar plexus, around rules and shoulds and have tos, especially if you're growing up with that in childhood, especially if to receive love, approval, or connection, you had to follow the rules. There was conditions on love. Kiana roko ikenia kaiki. There is no conditions on divine love. Sumana akari akali asimbra akaiki. Sura atayeti asura. Hiatasua. And what we're not seeing clearly, we invite it to be shown. Release the maya kuro koiki. The illusions. Umdana waikia karaka sundra maali. He oso. Hayatiama kwaiti so andanoria la saye osia seo inyara so akianama trokeeti. So there you go, my loves. That is the collective messages. We had Mirabai, we had divine union, universal consciousness. We had divine union. So there were the 3 cards, the 3 messages that came through. Is there any other message that needs and wants to be shared right here, right now? So I feel like in order to fully love its expression, releasing what's holding us back to become the being so that we become the one. We become one. That was the message. What's holding us back from that? I'm literally hearing the Hare Krishna song. I don't even know it. What is it? Hare Krishna. Oh, that's what I'm hearing, because Krishna is with Christ of consciousness there with Mirabai. Ah, lovely, lovely, lovely. How did that resonate with you? I will leave you with that. Um, if there's something that you feel you need right now, post in the comments, and tomorrow I'll pop on and do a short one. Kiana rahasaiki. Bye bye, my lovelies. And if you're interested in the light language beginner or level group starting off, it starts in June, and I will post the links for it as well here. I will post my donate link if you feel all I will receive. And yeah, that is it. I'm looking forward to those of you starting with me in the light language on Wednesday in level 2. I will talk to you all soon. I love you. Have a beautiful evening.